Welcome to Binge Watching Guide. My name is Sharifa Nero, and we're getting up close and personal with Akio from Hulu's Back in the Groove.
All right. So tonight we have Akio in the building. And I want to say congratulations. Back in the Groove is a major success on Hulu. So for those who may not know about this amazing show, and it's about time we had a show like this, tell us more about it.
Yeah, so the show was, it was about time for a show like this. The relationship dynamics, they always stuck in one kind of way. And this shows that, this is something that's available and it's something that people could do, despite the age, despite where you come from, that, everybody should go out there and explore a little bit.
So you did say on the show that this was the first time you had an experience dating someone that was older than you. So
Yeah.
what was that like for you? In your opinion, what's the difference between a lady that's older than you versus a younger female?
All right, so prior to the show, I actually thought, it might be like a smoother process, dating someone a little older than me. But I come to realize that it's based on the individual. People are people, so age is just a number. It just depends on what they're looking for and what their view things are and like what they want out of each relationship.
Very diplomatically said. So is it too soon to ask you if you have a preference for older or younger, or it doesn't matter?
If I have a preference, do I have a preference, boy? Not really, no. I like them all. You can't be like geriatric, like almost kind of, like any, but yeah, I like them all. I like them all.
There was a guy on there that said when he was in his 19 or 20, he married somebody who was 59.
Luis.
So, yes. And Sparkle
Yes.
said, he likes no one foot in a grave. It was interesting. All right. So speaking of Sparkle, you were the first person she chose. Now let's be honest. Let's be real honest.
Yeah, let's do this.
Or did you know? Did you know that did you know like you're the king of the jungle on there or what? What do you think?
I had no idea. So this is what happened, right? Well, let me back up a little bit. I'm gonna tell you how I got to talking to Sparkle and then with the date, right? So the girls walk in and then, they basically all the guys are going after them, trying to talk to them because no one wants to get eliminated that night. Right. So I was like, all right, what can I do to grab Sparkle's attention? So I start talking to her. And she's like, "Oh, Keel, I like your hair." And she said, "I look like Black Jesus," right? I said, they didn't show that on TV, but she said, "I look like Black Jesus," right? And I was like, "Oh, thank you." And I said, "She looks good as well." And she's like, "What do I do?" I told her, I'm a doctor in OT and I'm a soca artist as well, right? And she goes, "Well, soca, I love soca." So I said, "All right, what you know about soca, And she said, "I love it." And I said, "Okay, if I get them to play a soca song, would you give me a dance?" They didn't show that on the camera, right? So that's how me and Sparkle first built that connection. And then after the dance, I brought it over, and that's we had to talk. They showed that on TV. So going in that night, I kind of felt kind of confident because I was like, yeah, I'm like, like I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Next day now, the girls walk in Sparkle walks in. We had no idea what she was here for. I was just like kind of shocked, all the boys were just there chatting, talking, and she just walks in. And we're like, all right. And she sits down. And if you look, she sits down to Steven on her right and me on her left. Right. And I'm just like, okay, what's going on here? And then she just turns and she's like, Akil, you want to go on a date with me? I was like, yeah.
So, and that's the thing you just mentioned. There was always other guys around. And it's interesting to watch the dynamics between you guys because you can tell that some of you clearly bonded. But then also, these are your competition. So how did that balance out for you? Like, did you sleep with one eye open?
Oh, okay. So before heading to the island, before heading to the villa, I kind of told myself, like, you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know who's who. So like all my comments, I kind of just kept it to myself. Like I really didn't really say, like I was talking to people, but I was kind of cool and chilling, right? And because some guys were saying some outlandish shit, like, right? And I was vibing with the guys, but I wasn't saying nothing outlandish, you know? So yeah, I think things changed once everyone found out Stephen was Steph's son. Sorry. Yeah,
Yeah, I know
and
what you
then
mean. Yeah.
yeah, and once everyone found that out, it was like, oh snap, everyone has to watch the back. Like, you don't know who's who. So like everybody plotting like how they're gonna get these girls, what they're gonna do. Before people were like sharing their tactics and like what they thought about the girls and everything. Once that happened, that was kind of
That's the thing though. If why would you share tactics? To me, that makes not you, but
mm,
it's like if this is my competition. In fact, if I'm serious about somebody, you're not gonna
mm,
know what I'm thinking. I'll be like, crew, you
yeah,
won't know what
yeah,
I'm thinking. It's
exactly.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Exactly.
But what I love about you is you're well-rounded. Okay, you
Mm,
stand out. You look great. You have
thank
swag,
you.
and you are a nice guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so that you have all the perfect, all the cylinders were hit. So I was not
Mm.
shocked. I thought you'd be everybody's number one when I saw you. You know?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Leroy. Okay.
Whew.
So what was that like for you to witness Leroy's reaction?
Yeah, I when that happened, like Leroy and Steph are already vibing each other, right? So I kind of like it was a competition, but like Leroy's my boy at the same time. So I was having mixed feelings. I really felt bad for Leroy. I did. But then I also understand where Steph is coming from as well, right?
Yeah, me too.
So it's kind of like you're kind of in that situation where you're just kind of like stuck in the middle, like because Leroy took it hard, and then Steph took it hard too, you know. So it's like I was just like, I don't know, like I mean, I really don't know what else to say
I don't
about that.
know. Like, okay, I understand that Steph felt away because, she didn't want to hurt Leroy, but look at it this way. I'm coming
Mm,
onto a show with a bunch
mm,
of guys. You don't know what people's agenda might be. I mean,
mm,
first of all, TV, great. Everybody wants to get on TV to some extent.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not gonna apologize for having eyes and ears to let me know, because if I'm taking this seriously, I want to make the best
Mm,
decision. It's so confusing when you're one person and all these men, 8 men are
mm,
coming at you at once. As a matter of fact, more than 8. I only said 8 because it was,
yeah,
divided
yeah,
amongst the ladies and stuff like that. So to
yeah.
me, sorry, not sorry. She needed to do that,
Yeah.
She needed to do that.
No, because I'm saying like at the end of the day, it is I don't want to say a show, but it's an experience, right? And you have to be smart. So if she was able to play the advantage a little bit, I don't know if anybody plays football like soccer or whatever, like but like if sometimes you may not think it's supposed to go that way, but if it could go that way for a better result, right? Then it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I see both sides on that. I kind of just
So, like you said, it's a show. How real are the emotions on the show? I always
okay,
want to
so
know, like these dating shows, I see people
yeah.
crying. Some tears are real, some tears are fake. Like, how real was it for you?
Now the emotions are real. The emotions are real on the show. Everybody there was building connections with the people that they were basically dating on the show or trying to get to know better. And there's not one person on there who made it to the final eliminations, or I would say like maybe like the last 7, 8 guys who did not have legit feelings for these girls, and these girls they did have legit feelings for these guys. You get what I'm saying, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
everybody literally like kind of built like a family almost, because even though certain things could not be said because you're plotting on how you're going to win these girls over, right? The guys were really close, the girls were really close, and the guys and girls together were really close. So the emotions were real. The emotions were real. Like at the end when I said bye to Sparkle, that was real. Like I really felt that.
Yeah.
All the emotions were real. Everything.
This show is different to me. There's a lot of things that stuck out to me. First of all, the ladies, because they're mature, they know what
Mm,
they're looking for, they're
mm,
confident. The first thing is they did not see each other as competition, at least thus
Yeah.
far. Okay?
Yep.
They were very careful to respect and did not walk on each other's toes. They had girl code from the gets. And that's something that's different with mature ladies. You notice they weren't fighting, right? So
They
that's
did
pretty
not
cool.
fight amongst each other at all.
These
Not at
ladies
all. They did not fight.
have lived. They have lived. They're beautiful. They're dynamic, intelligent. I mean,
Yep.
own businesses. They know themselves. They know what they want. And I was just wondering, like, it's such a risk to go out there and try to find substance in somebody that may be your son's age or somebody that's much younger. So I'm gonna ask you this question again. What attracts you most to older women?
I love the fact that they know what they want. You know, older women definitely they lived, they had experiences, and you know they could probably teach me a thing or two. You know, so I like learning. I'm open to learning, and when someone knows what they want, that just makes them more attractive. So that's what I love about older women.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well
you
said.
know.
So Akio, your name has
Hmm.
a lot of different meanings. Okay, it
Yes,
means
ma'am.
bright,
Hmm.
it
Hmm.
means light, it means man, it means husband. Okay. So what characteristic would you be looking for in a future wife?
And future wife, um, someone that could love unconditionally. You know, I believe that with a wife, you have to put the family first. So there's no individuals. We're a team. We work together, we build together, and you know, we last together. You know, so I'm all about togetherness and unity. You know, you can't have man without woman, and you can't have woman without man. You know, so I am someone that definitely wants to get married, you know, have a long-lasting, loving relationship, you know, and so we could both learn from each other, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk more about you. So we didn't get you.
Mm,
There's so many sides to you. There's so many
yeah.
facets. Let's talk about your doctorate.
Okay. Yeah, so I graduated from the University of St. Augustine with my doctorate in occupational therapy. For those that don't know what occupational therapy is, and I find myself having to explain that sometimes. Basically it's basically I don't want to say rehab, but what we do is help you do occupations and things that are more important, that are meaningful to you. So for example, when I was doing my clinicals, I had a kid who accidentally drilled a nail in his hand, right? And he wants to be able to play football, right?
Yeah.
So what we did basically was rehab him so he's able to move his hand and so he's able to play football, basically. So that's like in a nutshell. You understand you know where I'm coming from? So like yeah, so basically you could look at it as rehab, you could look at it as meaningful, helping the patient do meaningful things to them. Like if you have a patient that wants to be able to cook again and they have decorative vein synovitis in their hand and they can't move their thumb properly, then we'll fabricate a splint for them and then we'll then again rehab the thumb to be able to move the thumb. I'm sorry if I'm going too deep, but like
No,
that's
that's fine. It's very
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
basically what we do. Yeah.
I'm just thinking these are qualities, older woman can appreciate. Sometimes, you really want to get your groove back, you want to keep moving. And you know what's so interesting? A lot of people don't realize, you go to the gym, you lift, you do this, you get your stomach flat, blah, blah, blah. It's great. That's important too, but a lot of people don't exercise and work out their joints. When you do that,
Mm-hmm.
as you
Mm-hmm.
already know, it keeps your
Mm-hmm.
body graceful. It keeps you from
Oh yeah,
stiffening up over time. A lot of
definitely.
people don't focus on that. So what you
They
do
don't.
is very important, not only for people who may have hurt themselves, but it's
Mm-hmm.
it's good to make sure your joints don't forget how to work.
Exactly.
Very
Exactly.
important.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. So those of us from the Caribbean, we know that you are so-called artist. You do all types of
Yeah.
music, actually.
Yes,
And
yes, yes.
so the father, how did you get the name the father? What's up?
All right, so the father actually came about in high school. So in my
You've
high
always
school, I
had
went
that older thing about you, that mature thing.
so like basically how that came about is in my high school I used to do like events and stuff and I was always that one West Indian kid, that one Trini kid, always playing my soca music, have my little Trini flag in my back pocket, just that kind of vibe, right? And all my friends, some of my friends, most of them, some didn't really know what soca music was. Some of them were familiar with it. Some of them kind of, didn't know what it was at all. And I put a lot of people on the soca music in high school. So they used to call me like Bacchanal God, Father Soca, Soca King, like all that kind of stuff. So then I just kind of put it together, the father. Like I just kept it that way since like 11th grade. I was like 17, 16 with that name.
Yeah. You I don't know if you notice about yourself, but something about you, it just commands respect in the most gentle, humble way. Oh my God, you're amazing. You are so amazing. Oh my God,
Thank
amazing.
you.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
back to the show, back in the
Hmm.
groove. What was the most memorable experience for you on
Most
the show?
memorable.
Most
Oh,
memorable, darling.
well, what episode are you on?
On episode 7.
Oh, so okay, okay, okay. The most memorable experience for me was definitely the first date with Sparkle on the boat. Um, so they showed the date, but we had such a big connection on that date on the boat. So
Mhm.
for example, backstory. So we're on the boat and Sparkle and I are just talking. They didn't show this. I don't know why, but we're talking and Sparkle and I were really getting deep into it. And I told her that my grandmother passed last year.
Sorry, please.
And yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, my grandmother passed last year, and she told me that her grandmother passed as well. And so in the end of the scene where you see us both cheering and we're like, Abuela, it's because we're talking about our grandmothers. And then
Oh,
as we were making the chairs, dolphins literally started like just swimming right behind us on while we were on the boat. That was not planned. That was just literally us just having a connection, and then we see dolphins swimming, and like it was such a magical moment. It's something that I'll never forget, So that
amazing.
was yeah, yeah, my favorite moment. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. 'Cause like my grandmother is one of my favorite people, and she passed
Mm,
too. And it's like she's a part of me. She lives in here.
yeah,
I'm not gonna speak eloquent right now because I'm talking
yeah,
about her, and it gets
yeah,
me
yeah,
worked up. But my
yeah. Sorry,
grandmother
sorry.
is
Mm,
one of the most special people to me too. Yeah,
yeah.
grandparents are special. I did see the dolphins though. They did show the
You saw the
dolphins.
dolphin. They showed the
Yeah,
dolphins. They showed the
but they didn't
dolphins.
show
Yeah,
the backstory.
yeah.
And dolphins is I love dolphins. They're friendly, they're intelligent, they're playful.
Hmm.
On the Anguillian flag is 3 dolphins in a circle because it's to symbolize the friendliness of the people.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Okay,
so I
okay,
love
okay.
dolphins.
I
Yep.
like that. I like
Yep.
that.
Before I forget, what's the
Mm.
backstory of Pedro? Pedro the problem. That's what I call it. It's hilarious. Okay? And I keep thinking, y'all better watch Pedro before he sneaks in on one of the ladies, you know what I'm saying? Because
Man, Pedro needs his own show, man. Pedro needs his own show. Pedro.
I love Pedro. He's like, and why are you checking out? Leaving so soon.
Like when we first met him, we had no idea who he was at all. He just walked in and we're like, who the hell is this guy? Like just coming in and taking away these ladies. We're like, what is this?
It's funny.
It's
It's funny.
hilarious.
This
It's
show
hilarious.
is it's so like I love reality dating shows anyway, but this one I can relate to it. I can relate to the ladies. It's respectful. It's hilarious. There's so many twists and turns and unexpected things happening.
Yeah.
It's like I can't wait to watch the reunion because there is a reunion, right?
We had to wait and find out and see.
Nah, we need a
We
reunion. I need
had
to
to
know
wait
what's
and
happening
find
after
out.
I finish those episodes. Yeah, we need
We had to
a
wait and
back of the
find
groove
out.
part 2. We need to see you guys and see what happened and how it's like for you now, watching yourselves on the screen. And that's a
Mm.
good question to ask you. What is it like watching yourself on the screen?
Oh man. At
Were you
first it was kind of
portrayed
nerve.
accurately?
I think they got a lot of good sides of me. I think so. Like they show that like I am mature. They show that, I have a good head on my shoulders. But they didn't get like my funny fun side either. For Soka, you gotta be able to, just
Spirit, the Trinity free spirit.
yeah, but it's cool because I think that what was portrayed did its job, if you get what I'm saying.
It did.
So
It did.
yeah, yeah. So
You have been
that's
on my
cool.
Facebook for 11 years. This is the first conversation I've ever had with you. Besides, happy
Wow.
birthday. Like, it's like, hey, this man was on my page all these years. Like, do you know anything? Like, what's up? So it's like
I love,
I got to learn you by watching
yeah.
the show. I learned about you from the show, nowhere else. So that's pretty cool. So I think they
Wow.
did a good job.
Awesome. Yeah, they did a
Yeah,
good job. A great
yeah.
job. They were
Well,
awesome.
thank you so much. Thank you so
No
much for
problem.
joining
No
us.
problem.
And definitely you have to come back when I
Of
finish looking at
course.
the episodes, and I'll give the world a chance to catch up as well. And we're
All
gonna have
right.
you back. Maybe you could do
Sounds.
music for us the next time. You could show your
I
3D
know.
side.
All
All
right. All right.
right.